Hey guys, you're watching The Morning Score, your top of day fix for professional and for college sports and for gaming. Talking about Senate Bill 101. Sports and politics this week have shared the spotlight as Indiana's religious freedom bill has been the controversial topic. What's really interesting, though, is that not only has it taken the political world by storm, but a lot of different sports figures and athletes and people that we recognize as being important in the world of athletics have chimed in. Now, just to get all the specifics proper right. This bill basically is allowing for people who have religious beliefs who don't believe in same-sex couples to refuse services to same-sex couples, whether it's for marriages or to bake a wedding cake. This gives those people the right to say, I don't want to be involved in that. But at the same token, critics are saying that this bill is opening the door up to legal discrimination. So we're not going to talk specifically about the bill because we're a sports show. We keep it lighthearted and fun. We're going to talk about how the world of sports has reacted to it and if you think they have overreacted to Indiana's religious freedom bill. Come one, come all.
I mean, as of right now, I think everybody's trying to get their head around it. I know the NCAA, a big thing is the tournament is in Indianapolis this weekend. And they're talking about, we need to see, obviously they can't change anything right now. I mean, it's happening this weekend. But I know that the head of the NCAA, they don't know what to do. They would like to see the language changed. And they are threatening that next year it's the women's Final Four will be there, that they might pull out. Even the NFL has talked about, because the combine's there. You know, as a former employee of IndyCar, Indianapolis is huge for IndyCar. I mean, it's the Mecca. And I haven't heard anything of what they're going to do, but I'm sure there's going to be some ramifications that it could get out of hand. We're just going to have to see.
Well, and let's just talk really briefly about the different people from the gaming and the sports world who have stepped up and spoken out against the law. Tongue-tied, geez. Gen Con, which is one of the world's largest gaming conventions, has said that it might pull their future events from Indiana. Butler University president actually spoke out this morning saying that he believes in diversity and inclusion. NASCAR has released a statement saying that they also believe in diversity, inclusion. Jason Collins, the retired NBA player who came out as gay in 2013, said, "My friends and I are planning on coming to Indiana for the Final Four this weekend. Are you not going to let our businesses going to discriminate against us?" Pat Hayden, the University of Southern California athletic director, tweeted yesterday, "I'm a proud father of a gay son. Therefore, I will not be attending the college football committee meeting in Indiana." And like you said, the NCAA president, Mark Emmert, also said on Tuesday that this religious freedom law needs to be tweaked. So it's not just one or two people. It's a long list of everyone from presidents to university presidents to Gen Con spokespeople to NBA players. It has snowballed into something huge. And listen, I'm from the Bible Belt. I'm from Georgia. Christian, believe in, but I believe that everyone has the right to be with who they love. And I have a real problem with people taking the language of a bill and using it as a way to discriminate against somebody based on who they sleep with. And that's coming from someone who is a Christian. And I know a lot of Christians out there will say, well, that's hypocritical. But I believe that Christianity teaches acceptance and tolerance. I don't believe Christianity teaches hate. I don't believe that Christianity is about judging. So you can sleep with who you want to sleep with, and I'm going to serve you a beer. Or I'm going to, do whatever I want to do based on the fact that I love you as a person. So I see both sides of the story. I wonder if once we get more information on the actual specifics of the bill, will it kind of die down some. But at this point, I admire that people have stepped up and spoken out about it.
I can see both sides of this as well. Number one, I think it's great that it's starting a conversation. You know what I mean? There are a lot of things that years ago people wouldn't talk about this type of thing. It would be brushed under the carpet or whatever. But I can see both sides of it as well. I honestly don't think, and maybe this is an ignorant statement, but I don't think that companies that that understand this $70.2 million surge of money that's coming into the state this weekend. Those people are like, I almost want to give credit to the business owners that they're there to make money and they understand that this is an event, and they're like, I really don't think that because this was like this law was passed or they're going to do this, because I don't even think it really comes into action
until July the 1st.
Right, so it doesn't really even affect this weekend. But I do like that people, take platforms to talk about stuff, to voice their opinions. But on the other hand, it is, when you have some of these celebrities and some of these people that speak out in a way that is not intelligent, just because they're a celebrity, I don't understand why we trust their opinion and voice more than others. Like, a lot of these people aren't where I'm going to get my information to make my political decisions. Do I think discrimination of any kind is ridiculous? Absolutely. But I feel like we're kind of jumping on, I mean, it brings me back a little bit to the Russia situation with the Olympics, because it was this same, and it was like spoken that gay people will be jailed or whatever. It wasn't, it was, I think that's what it was, and Indiana's not saying that. And I'm not trying to stick up for, like, I know that there's, they're not exactly saying that, but we still had the Olympics in Russia. And I get Russia is not in the United States, so we care more because we don't want something in one of our states. But I honestly feel like the language will be changed. Yeah. And I feel like it will be a success that this law cannot create an open space for people to discriminate against gays and lesbians, the LGBT community, whatever. Like, I feel like that's not something, I feel like in today's day and age, there's so many things happening to give everyone the same rights that this is another conversation that will end. So is it an overreaction? I don't know that it's an overreaction, but I feel like I am proud that people do take time, and there's, like I said, there's this discussion. Because years ago, I don't think this discussion would happen. The way that it is, I don't think people would be coming up and standing up and saying what they feel openly about this type of thing.
I want to, can I?
Go ahead.
I just want to make a point. You were saying that you don't particularly trust athletes for your social or your political issues. You don't trust like their views. And my thing, people say that a lot. I've heard a lot of politicians and commentators say that I'm not going to trust you. You're LeBron James. You're Kobe. Go play ball. These people are law-abiding, respectful, intelligent citizens. A lot of them have gone to college, even if they were one and done. They're educated. They are worldly, so they have a perspective that you don't have to be a politician for me to respect your opinion. And there are a lot of politicians out there whose opinions I do not respect.
But that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I don't trust that every single athlete and every single celebrity that speaks up about a political situation has done the research and knows what they're talking about, and that doesn't just want to be included in the press.
But at the same token, I don't think that every athlete or every celebrity who speaks out is uninformed.
I'm not saying they're uninformed. I'm just saying I don't think, like, you can't blanket it one way or another.
Okay.
So and a lot of them are informed. I mean, you look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, who became a government. Like, you see these people that are, but you see some of these tweets that are reaction you see on Twitter or fire-fueled something, and when you actually look at what the situation at hand is, it kind of doesn't coincide. But someone, and I don't want to name names and call people
names,
out.
call them out.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, some of them just don't coincide with the conversation. Like, I don't feel like some of that adds. Like the angry tweets and the this and that. Like, I feel like it doesn't educate. And these laws and these tweets, me personally, yes, I love the conversation, but I don't think that's, the change is going to be by education and by this normalcy happening where everyone is treated equally. I don't think it's going to be a Twitter war or something like that that's going to make these people change who they are. Like, it's a fact. Some people, it's a sad fact, but some people still do discriminate. And I feel like inclusion rather than exclusion and making them wrong is a better way to educate people and for everyone to come together.
Jump in on that, Trevor.
Well, I'm just going to say, unfortunately, in our worlds, there's always going to be bigots, racists, extremists. I mean, it's just going to happen. Reading as much as I have on this law, what kind of disgusts me is the fact that now, legally, you can bigot somebody or, be racist against them and get them out of your business. And that's just the one thing. it's going to happen. There are parts, we were talking about this off camera, I've been to parts of the South, you know, that are...
I'm from Georgia.
It's crazy, and they're not going to let you in no matter what. But now they have the power through law to say, no, please get out of my spot. And it drives me crazy.
But honestly, if that happens, I feel like there are enough people, that happens once in this, well, say that happens in this, you know, Mom and Bob's cafe, that happens. That one person is gonna tell another person, is gonna tell another person, is gonna tell another person, that business is gonna suffer. That's how I feel we are right now, and I'm proud of that.
Well, and you're right, because there's actually a place in Big Bear, just outside of Los Angeles, that has, they're known for like this amazing breakfast. But if you go on their Yelp, all people say is like how racist these people are. And you know what? That's amazing. And that's why I love like these platforms, because I will never go to that establishment because I'm not going to support those sons of bitches. And that's the thing. And I'm with you.
Yeah.
Because once somebody does it, then the word's going to spread. Also, my thing is some of these business owners, like, if you don't want to take pictures at my, my wedding or bake my cake or whatever, F you, I don't want your business. And here's the thing, it's easy for me to say, because a lot of people, hey, I had a decent upbringing. Yeah. I'm a white male. I haven't really had that. I haven't had that much discrimination. Yeah. So a lot of people are going to be like, well, it's easy for you to say. It's easy for you to say. And yeah, maybe it is. But you know what? I have a lot of friends that are black, Mexican, gay, lesbian. And you know what? I support those people. And it pisses me off. And
I think for me, like, whether or not the language is where it should be in the Senate Bill 101, hopefully it gets to where it should be, so that even if you are a bigot, even if you are a homophobe, you are less inclined and less likely to act on that bigotry, because the law's language basically prohibits you from doing that. I hope we get to that point. Can you change people's perspectives on blacks, on LGBT community members? No, you cannot. But you can.
See, I disagree. I think that
I don't think you can.
I've personally experienced people changing their belief because they associated something and then they understood differently. So I think that it's sad to say that every single person today that look at the way that the law has spread, allowing gay marriage to be across the country in so many states. People changed what they thought.
I think when you're talking about old schools of thoughts, when you're talking about 55-year-olds, older, 65, people from the old way of thinking, I think it's very difficult for those people to change. And those oftentimes are the people who are making the laws. Like, these are the legislators. These are the people who are creating the political climate. Now, millennials and people our age, I think we're more likely to be more tolerant and more accepting. But the people who are, still calling the random dude on the street with a hoodie on the N-word, or the people who are still using the F-word to refer to a gay man, those people are just inherently prejudiced and ignorant. And
right, you're not going to change everyone.
No, you're not.
But I think that saying a blanket statement that no one will, that we're not going to change anyone either, is not valid either. Okay. But what I think, like tying it back to the sports, what I think would be a solution to this problem is because there are plenty of businesses in Indiana that don't care and are just there, and would never fathom them. So as the NCAA, as NASCAR, as IndyCar, as all the things that happen in this place, you make sure that your sponsors and that your businesses, like, you can own, as a nationwide organization, you can only allow businesses that practice this XYZ, so that everyone that wants to go to this tournament feels happy. Yeah. Like, there's a way to solve this problem. And I think that's, and maybe it's just me, I'm like a solution-oriented person. Okay. I just like to, but I feel like anyone that would be a very easy fix for the NCAA to go, okay, this weekend, these are all the businesses participating. True. If any one of you acts on this, you're gonna forfeit your contract with us, you're gonna have to pay a fine, this, that, and the other thing. problem solved for this weekend, and then we see how this bill shakes out.
And from a revenue standpoint, I do believe that moving forward, businesses will be very proactive in making sure that they only partner with businesses who have non-discriminatory practices.
Right.
I mean, that's really the only way to move forward when it comes to being a corporation. And I feel like no matter what your religious beliefs are, if you're a COO or a CEO of a corporation, your bottom line is, how much money are you making me? I don't care who you're sleeping with. I don't care if you're black, white, dog, purple, green. If you're making me money, I'm going to make sure I do the best practices for my bottom line.
Well, and the thing is, in all, just being as realistic as possible, in Indianapolis, in any big cities, everybody's pretty open. I think you're going to be pretty hard pressed to find any of these, very discriminatory businesses in downtown Indianapolis where all this is taking. It's mainly going to be in like the boondock areas and kind of some of these funky areas. So it's really not going to affect.
We hope not.
That so much in the main part, because you're just a little bit more open-minded for the most part.
I'll tell you, if one person gets discriminated against this NCAA tournament this weekend, it's going to be the biggest story ever, and that business is going down. The other thing that I just want to touch on real quick is what you were saying earlier about like the photographers and all that stuff. I think that, yes, it's crazy that people would not want to do that, but in the same sense, you got to say, if there's two men that are getting married and this photographer doesn't want to photograph this wedding because of religious beliefs, that they're not going to produce a good product for these people anyway. So why would you, you know what I mean? Like, people are allowed to believe what they want, as ignorant as it might be. People are allowed to believe what they want. Okay. So I feel like I wouldn't want those people to take pictures anyway, because they're gonna be distant, or they're not gonna like experience what's going on and capture that moment, because they're gonna be somewhere else thinking my religious blah blah blah.
You let me get out of here as quickly as possible.
So here at the Morning Score, we touch on gaming, sports, and political issues. Now you know.
Versatile.
Now you know.
Versatile.
We cover it all.
Versatile. But end note, anybody that discriminates is kind of an idiot.
Yeah. Don't discriminate. It's not cool.
Open your minds. Open your heart, people.
Stef Z.
How do you do it?
Trevor.
Oh, yeah.
I got to do a heart too. Erica. You're watching the Morning Score. Until next time, see ya.